Bop, bop, bop. Let's go. Geeks are signing in. We're live with the killer himself, Damon Jackson. Formerly, last fight came out as Damon Action Jackson, formerly known as the Leech. How we doing, Damon?
Doing good, man. How you guys?
Great.
Phenomenal. I mean, what is there not to talk about right now with Damon Jackson? Super hot. He's on a 4-fight win streak, ripping through the featherweight division. His last fight out, he came out against Patrick Sabatini, a hot prospect. You were an underdog in the Vegas's eyes. We knew you were a killer. We were riding you the whole time, but you come out and put on an absolute masterclass. Send a front kick right up the middle, put Sabatini away early. Like he's really never been put away like that before. What a phenomenal performance. How are you feeling in the octagon, man?
I was actually feeling great. I had a crazy week with everything going on with my brother and my family, but I had a good. I was there for a week early with Macy, and I was already in Vegas at the PI the whole week, so my weight was really good. I had a great weight cut, good rehydration. So going into the fight, I felt better than I ever have. Not it's been a long time since I felt that good, so it was nice to have that feeling, and pull through and have a good finish like that. So definitely I felt great and I was ready to go. I'm feeling great now. I'm trying to get one booked up right now.
Yeah, that would be crazy. That would be 4 in this year, bro. I mean, super active, all W's. I mean, I'm sure everybody's loving it around you, man. You're killing it, surging through the scene. So what was the camp like coming through to this? Did you have a specific game plan and how did it kind of pan out?
Yeah, a lot of boxing, like a lot more than normal, because I knew that my countering wrestling was going to be there, and I knew I could, I knew I could out wrestle him, as far as like defense and moving around. So I worked a lot of boxing and a lot of like taekwondo, like front kicks and the spin kicks. I haven't really pulled out any of my spin kicks, but that's something that I love doing that, and I don't even throw them in practice, but I practice them a lot, but I don't throw them in practice because I don't like hitting people blindly like that. So the front kicks, it's one of my favorite things to use, and I do a lot more with my left leg than I do with my right leg. But that right leg it hurts people a lot in practice. So like I've been really pushing it pretty hard for the last few years. I just in my fights it just seems like it doesn't present itself like that, and I knew that his wrestling and his movement, if you watch, like every time I level change, his elbows would kind of separate, and it just gave me the perfect timing. So I was going for the chest or the chin, and he ended up staying up higher than me, which was weird because I'm actually taller than him by 3 or 4 inches. So he was lower than me at first, and then when I level changed, he went down, and then he came up and gave me his chin. So it was good timing.
Yeah, I was gonna ask with preparing for opponents, do you how does it usually go for you? Do you look at their tendencies and look how to counter it? Do you get one of your training partners to emulate their movements? How does that go down at Fortis?
Yeah, it's a combo of all those. Like it's like you want to get some people that are similar style wise, but like for me, I have a pretty strong style where I'm gonna go forward, I'm gonna wrestle, I'm gonna grapple at some point. So for me, it's like figuring out the safest way to do my normal game plan because that's gonna be my game plan every fight. I caught him early with that kick, but you see that I didn't stay on my feet. I threw him to the ground and got to where I
Yeah.
knew I was going to be comfortable and I knew I could win the fight. And so that's not going to change. Like I'm definitely still a grappler, still a wrestler. So preparing for it though, I had a lot of guys that had great wrestling coming at me hard, real aggressive for wrestling, and I was doing real good with the wrestling defense. So I knew that was going to be there. And then game plan wise, like a lot of the center line attacks were going to be there. It was either he rushes into me and tries to grab me after I box for a little bit and I hit him with a good knee, or I box and then I throw the front kick behind it, or I was going to box, hit him with the front kick and then box and hit him with a roundhouse to the head. So he was dropping his left hand a lot on the video that me and Coach Sayef watched video for about a month. Every other day we would just kind of go back and forth on what would be there and what might be there and what he might do, and like so we were kind of going through everything. Like I had 3 different game plans, so I was very prepared for the fight.
Let's go.
Sweet.
And speaking of all those game plans, how's the atmosphere been over there at Fortis? I know that you're coaching over there, and I heard rumors that you're open up another gym. What's
Yeah.
kind of the move with that? What's your whole plan?
Like I have to stay active as a fighter. So as long as I'm fighting, I want to be active. So my gym's gonna be, um, like a lot of it's gonna be based around my activity level. Whereas like I'm not gonna be full-time coach there, but I'm gonna be running the gym full time. I'll be there most of the time. I'll have my training partners come to me a little bit just so we can get extra work in. So I think at the end of the day, like I'll be able to work out more than I normally am because I'm having to kind of bounce back and forth between Rockwall and Dallas all the time, which is about 30-minute drive. And it would just save me a lot of headache to like, stay there most of the time and then train, 3 days a week at Fortis. And uh, that way I can wrestle every day and, spar and do whatever else I need to do. So, it's going to be good. I'm just going to move forward with that as quick as I can, but I would like to get one more fight in this year. So, I called out Julian Arosa, Dan Inge, and Alex Consteras because those guys are like in the top 15 mix or they're real close to it. And I actually messaged Julian. He messaged me back. So we're pretty cool. And I was like, hey, man, like, are you want to fight one more time this year? And he was like, I just got matched up. So he's already matched up. So it's down to Dan Inge and Alex Consteras. So hopefully one of those guys pull through so I can break that top 15 and I want to stay active and be in the top 15, but whoever they give me, I just want to fight one more time.
DMs are out to Ige
Yeah,
and
no, I mean, because I don't, it's not disrespect. I
yeah.
have zero disrespect for any of these guys. Whoever is in that top 15, they're tough as hell and they deserve to be there at some point. So I'm just trying to challenge myself and be in that mix of those guys. And, I want to have the big fights to get me closer to that title. And, I want to, just keep moving forward.
Yeah, it's a respectful message. It's just a hey man, you trying to throw down this year,
Yeah. We went back and forth a little bit, just being super casual, nothing crazy, but he's a cool dude and like I'm not gonna talk crap about anybody. If I don't have a fight, then I'll start talking crap. So I don't wanna get in that picture where I'm like begging for a fight, starting to talk smack. I want them to give me a fight so I don't have to be that guy. So
Facts.
I was gonna say you have a lot of stuff going on. You're building a new house. You got 4 daughters. Everything's hectic. How do you manage to just keep everything in check and be the dude running the house, building the house, everything? How's it going?
it just like if you're working hard and like you're used to working hard, it's just you keep your head down and keep moving and somehow you'll wake up one day and you're like, how the hell did this happen? Like it's crazy because like so many things where like like I saw a couple of my buddies the other day from high school and I hadn't seen them since then, but when I see them I still feel like it was just the other day, whereas they've already lived like this long ass life where they like are so miserable with all the shit they're doing. And I think in my head I'm like, it's like for me it's like as long as you keep moving forward and you keep your head down and you work every day, like you should, there's no days off. And that's like for me, I got my training, I always have a day off, but even on my day off, that's not my day off. That's like my day to like get closer to my girls or get closer to my family or like, maybe I stretch that day or maybe I do something active like that or go fishing or something to stay busy. And it's like, I feel like if you just keep your head down and keep moving forward, it's like, it's so easy to like get through most of the stuff. And a lot of it, I don't really have control over. So like I'm putting the money down in the house, but I don't have control over when it's done. And I'm putting the time into the gym, but that's something that like I'll have control over how much effort I put into that and how much effort I put into my fighting and all that. So I'm just trying to balance it all out. And it's worked for me, just staying active and staying busy works for me. And I know that it stresses some people out, but I just feel like you don't have control over a whole lot. So, whatever you have control over, you got to hit it hard.
Yeah, I wanted to congratulate you on building the house. It's a big step. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
no, yeah, I appreciate it.
And outside of fighting, and I know you have the daughters, and I heard you were talking about your oldest daughter's like a really, she's killing it in the wrestling world.
Yeah, yeah.
What are kind of some of your hobbies outside? I know you just said fishing. Is that like are you a big fisherman, big outdoors guy?
Uh, I would say I've kind of went over more towards hunting and last like probably 10 years I've been hunting more than fishing because it's like fishing, it's like it's hard for me to like get out there and like, go fish and then come back to the gym and like go do random things. So like I like to hunting, it gives me like time away so I can just sit out there for a few days and just kind of get zoned in and focus on it. And I just like the peace. Like it's so quiet out there and stuff. And in the DFW area, it's kind of hard to find a good fishing spot because there's a lot of lakes, but everyone has a boat and everyone's active on the water. So it's hard to like get out there and just fish unless you're like, you could pay for like a tour and go catch some fish, but I like to just do it by myself. So I've been hunting a lot more than normal, but yeah, I always do something like that outside.
What are you hunting out there?
I do a lot of hog hunting because like
Okay.
they're a pretty big nuisance, but I do a lot of hog hunting and then dove and whitetail, like whitetail deer.
Okay. Yeah. I have never been
That's why
hunting.
I was trying to tell everybody I'm more country than Bryce Mitchell. Everybody talks about how he's just like a redneck. He's like, hardcore redneck, but I'm more country than him. So I told him, I'm like, we got to have some kind of country off and see who's more country. Because I guarantee
Yeah.
you I beat him all day.
Yeah, man. You guys got to link up, man. I'm sure you guys can, collaborate barn talks or something.
Shoot, if I get the Dan Ingay matchup next would be Bryce.
You guys are right in the same pool. I mean, these
I know.
rankings, this whole division is super stacked. I mean, you guys from top to bottom, it's crazy.
Yeah. I
But
mean the whole UFC, like bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, like it's just crazy. Yeah. It really is crazy.
I know, and then we're watching the contender series like last night. You see
I
like guys
know.
like Bo
I
Nickel are
know.
coming on the scene. It's like every single Tuesday, it's just like,
Yeah.
holy shit, these guys are coming.
Yeah, everybody's well rounded, man. Everybody knows how to train. Everybody can kind of like bounce ideas off each other, and they see there's so many more fights now to watch, so you can learn a lot quicker. So it's pretty cool. Sports growing like crazy.
As a coach, would you have any like game plan alters that you have to make if you were coaching a guy going on to the contender series? Because it's kind of like do or die per se. You kind of have to get a knockout. So like,
Yeah, I mean, you definitely you can't leave anything in there. So it's kind of like I was just one of my main trading partners is Abdul, and he just fought on this a local show. It's called Fury. It's on Fight Pass, but it was kind of a local show to start off with, and now it's kind of gotten quite a bit bigger. But it's on Fight Pass. You can watch it. But Abdul, and I was telling him, I'm like, he's fighting this guy that he has a lot of fights and he's tough, but he's way more athletic than this kid he's fighting. So I was like, dude, you got to go out there and just put it on this kid. So like when you take him down, because I want you to take him down, but when you get on top of him, just let loose and like show him something big. And he went out there and smashed the kid, looked great. So like I think that's what it takes to get into the contender. Like you have to go out there and like show them that you're looking for those finishes or show them that you're well rounded enough to like fight someone that's been fighting for 10 years or more, whatever. So it's like these guys coming on there, they're it's crazy because it used to be like maybe one guy would get a contract, and now it's like every freaking week they're signing 4 or 5 guys, and it's like how like it's crazy. Like they're good, like they're good. Like everybody they sign and they're good. Just different day and age, man. It's crazy how well rounded everybody is.
yeah, super crazy. And then you got all these names
Yeah,
of the sport popping up in different promotions now. Like you got Burgos and Marlon Moraes
I
going at it.
know.
Dude,
Yeah.
what do you think about that whole scene?
I feel like the UFC screwed up by letting Shane go because he's entertaining as hell. And I kind of saw me and him fighting eventually. I saw that fight playing out, at some point. And like that I think he wins that fight all day though. I think that Marlon is like he's taking some damage at some point, either in his fights or in practice or I don't know where, but like he should take some time off and or maybe just wrap it up because he's got like I don't know, I forget his record, but his last 4 or 5 fights he's gotten hurt or got knocked out. So I'm like it's not a good look, man. I hate seeing that. I hate seeing when people can't call it quits. Like
Mhm.
I'm gonna know it because like I know if I'm not winning in my practice room, like at Fortis, if I'm not winning there, I have no business fighting in the cage. So and then if I'm not winning in the cage, then I got no business putting my body and putting my family through that. So I kind of know when I'll be able to gauge that and see when it's time for me to pull out or whatever. So I hate seeing a lot of these guys go through their end of their career and like they lose their last 3 fights, but they used to be a champ or they used to be like in the mix of the top 2 or 3 guys. And it's hard to watch.
Yeah, it sucks because when you get to that championship caliber, you only fight like dogs from there on out.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
never get to go back to the beginning, It's
I
kind of
know.
crazy.
That's why, like, fighting. I was looking at the matchups. I'm like, well, Dan Ige is on a 3-fight losing streak, but I'm like, you look at the guys he's lost to, it's not really like a losing streak. It's just like, these are freaking
Tough
killers. It's
stretch.
like he's a tough dude, man. That matchup or the Alex fight, either way, like it's gonna be a tough fight. So, hopefully one of those pull through though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Um, One thing that I think that everyone in the UFC can learn from you, my friend, is having a full occupation outside of fighting, because you can
Mhm.
only imagine, the year of 2022 has been for you and your family, just based on the fact that you don't depend on fighting. You have your job, you have
Yeah,
things that pay your bills. And then on top of that, you're looking for your fourth fight of the year, and
yeah.
you got two finishes. I mean, 50K bonuses. I mean, it's like, this is how you do it. Like, fighting should be something that is, can be taken
Supplemental.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
why I was late today. That's why I was a little late because I was just finishing up a session. But my sessions, like I started at 6 a.m. and they got pushed back a little bit. Like people were late or whatever, so I got pushed back 15 minutes, and I was just making up for it. But I feel like that's what like a lot of these kids that are coming up, like just some advice, like take it or whatever. But it's like if you're not working full time, then when you have that fight and you have that spotlight, you won't respect it enough, and you'll abuse it a lot more if you don't have that. If you don't have like that, the past thoughts of like having to work a day job. And then once you get that big check, it's like you'll go spend it, and then you'll just be begging for another fight, and you don't know how to like regulate your money. So I feel like if you have that consistently coming in and you're able to pay for your own training, you're not having to go out there and like, wear t-shirts just to like pay the bills. And like for me, I don't do any work on social media. I don't do any of that stuff because I would rather just I'm a little too prideful. I'd rather just keep it in and work harder and make more money than have to go out there and stand around some vehicle or stand around with a t-shirt on or whatever. It's just kind of like for me, it's I like to do things on my own. So like the fighting and whatever, it's like you're the only one in there. So all the work you do shows up, or it's either gonna pay off or you're gonna get embarrassed. So if you work hard, it pays off for sure.
yeah. Oh, you don't like the videos of Bryce Mitchell with his shirt off and like the forest hitting the
Boy, that
wood?
dude don't know nothing. He can't even take care of his own cows. He loses cows all the time. I'm like, it's just like that's country stuff. It's like you don't lose cows, you don't lose cattle. You gotta step up your game. He doesn't know what he's doing, but he's learning. I think he's learning. I think he didn't grow up doing it a whole lot, but I think he's around it all the time. But I think he's learning as he goes. But I'm more country than him.
Are these like farm rumors? Like, how do you know about his cows? Like,
Because he talks about it all the time. He's always
oh,
talking about. He's always doing some like something live or something. Whatever. And I don't follow him. I just see it on. I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of like MMA news updates and whatever. And so when he has a fight, that's all he does is like talk about something. He like tries to like make it seem like MMA and being a cattle farmer are the same. And I'm like, well, I mean, there's definitely like things you can pull out of it, but it's just I don't know.
dude,
I don't believe I would smash him.
I would
Yeah.
love to see that fight. I
I
mean,
would love I would love for that fight to happen. And I don't want to like start running my mouth because I mean he's earned his spot and he's 15-0 and whatever. But yeah, I would smash him. So I would love that fight. If he loses this fight or wins, whatever, if he wins, he's gonna be in the mix for a title. So that fight, wouldn't happen. But if he loses and I win my next one, I would still fight him.
yeah, no, I mean, if it's not the next one, I mean, it's gonna happen soon. I mean, you guys are both, extremely talented. You're gonna be at the top of the division, fighting for the strap.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. So the barnyards will clash.
Yeah, well, I'll take him, and I'll take him hunting after. I'll show him how to fish.
Yeah, I see you
I'll
can
teach
hunt
him,
the boars like from helicopters. John Jones, I saw, was like,
bro. Yeah, I hunted. I do that. Like I've done that a couple times, and it's like a video game. Like you're shooting these things while they're at dead sprint, while you're going sideways on a helicopter, and like you're peppering like 6 at a time. It's insane. But if you see the damage they do to these fields, it's like it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year these farmers lose, and it's crazy. Like or it'll kill a horse or it'll kill cattle because the cow a cow will be running through the pasture and it'll trip in a hole and break its leg, and then it's dead. You can't fix a broke leg like that. So it's like horses are sometimes $200,000-$300,000 horses, and they're out there breaking their legs because the pig will get out there and they'll just tear up a whole pasture, and it ruins a lot of money. But yeah, they're a nuisance big time.
Damn. Yeah, I've never been hunting, but if I was gonna go, I think it'd be for some boar. Man, I don't really have too
Yeah.
many feelings about boar. I could probably pop one of
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah, they're gross, man. Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, Fishman, you got anything else?
Nah, nothing much. I was gonna ask about if you were been doing any leech therapy recently, but
No, I haven't. I haven't done that in a while. I did that in Vegas because I was like, that was the only place that I saw that they had it. Like, the lady would come to you and do it. So I was like, it was during COVID, and I was like, hey, if you come here, you gotta stay outside. We gotta do a couple videos and then we're done. But it was such a headache to get her in there, and I just haven't done it since then. But yeah, that was strictly just for the IG. That was yeah.
that
That was
funny.
fun.
That was
It was
funny.
a flex for
Yeah.
the gram. Are we sticking
Yeah.
with Action Jackson? Or are we going back to the leech? What's the final?
I think I'll always be the leech, like my style. I'm not gonna change my style just because of the nickname, and it's been with me forever. But I think I'm moving it to Action Jackson just because it's a good reminder to me, just not take advantage of life and like take advantage of time spent in the cage and like time with everything. Because losing my brother it was just out of nowhere. It didn't make a lot of sense, and it was just kind of like I was just talking to him on Wednesday, and then I find out like Friday night that he passed. So it was kind of like, it was really hard to just sit there and think about it. I was like, man, like that's just something like the Action Jackson. That part just kind of reminds me all the time that it's every day you don't know when it's gonna be your last day. So I think I'm gonna stick with that though.
Let's
Let's
go.
go. Yeah, man. Our condolences again. You're true inspiration to everyone out there, bro. The way that you came out, kept the fight, put on for your family, for this, just for everyone. It was just so inspirational. You're the man, bro. Thank you so much for coming on. You got any final shout outs you want to throw out there before we sign out of here?
Shit, man. I only got two guys that sponsor me, and they've been with me forever. And Scott Brown, him and his family, they've supported me forever. And then Greg C. Those two guys have done so much for me and my family. But no, that's about it. I don't do a whole lot of social media stuff, but it's Damon B. Jackson.
Let's go. That's all right. That's what we're gonna do. We'll make you a clean little edit. We'll get this up on the tube. We'll get you
Yeah.
flowing. All right,
All
brother.
right, man.
Thanks again.
Thank
Let's
you.
go.
Yeah.
We're the Geeks. He's Damon Jackson. We're out. Let's go.
All right.
Peace, bro.
All right, man.